Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And do subscribe our YouTube and Telegram channels. Now let's start our discussion.
Welcome to English Lecture Notes. Today's topic is ecocriticism. Ecocriticism is the study of literature and ecology from an interdisciplinary point of view, where literature scholars analyze texts that illustrate environmental concerns and examine the various ways literature treats the subject of nature. The term ecocriticism was coined in 1978 by William Ruckert in his essay, Literature and Ecology, an Experiment in Ecocriticism. It was first originated by Joseph Meeker as an idea called literary ecology in his The Comedy of Survival, Studies in Literary Ecology, 1972. It takes an interdisciplinary point of view by analyzing the works of authors, researchers and poets in the context of environmental issues and nature. Ecocriticism was officially heralded by the publication of two seminal works, both published in the mid-1990s, The Ecocriticism Reader, edited by Cheryl Glotfelty and Harold Fromm, and The Environmental Imagination, by Lawrence Buell. In United States, ecocriticism is often associated with the Association for the Study of Literature and Environment, ASLE, which hosts a biennial conference for scholars who deal with environmental matters in literature and the environmental humanities in general. Ecocriticism investigates the relation between humans and the natural world in literature. It deals with how environmental issues, cultural issues concerning the environment and attitudes towards nature are presented and analyzed. Goals in ecocriticism. One of the main goals in ecocriticism is to study how individuals in society behave and react in relation to nature and ecological aspects. This form of criticism has gained a lot of attention during recent years due to higher social emphasis on environmental destruction and increased technology. It is hence a fresh way of analyzing and interpreting literary texts, which brings new dimensions to the field of literary and theoretical studies. Some eco-critics brainstorm possible solutions for the correction of the contemporary environmental situation. Western thought has often held a more or less utilitarian attitude to nature. Nature is for serving human needs. However, after the 18th century, there emerged many voices that demanded a revaluation of the relationship between man and environment, and man's view of nature. Arne Næss, a Norwegian philosopher, developed the notion of deep ecology, which emphasizes the basic interconnectedness of all life forms and natural features, and presents a symbiotic and holistic worldview rather than an anthropocentric one. The most important environmental problems that humankind faces as a whole are nuclear war, depletion of valuable natural resources, population explosion, proliferation of exploitative technologies, conquest of space preliminary to using it as a garbage dump, pollution, extinction of species though not a human problem, among others. In such a context, literary and cultural theory has begun to address the issue as a part of academic discourse. Numerous green movements have sprung up all over the world, and some have even gained representations in the governments. Various versions of environmentalism developed. Deep ecology and ecofeminism were two important developments. These new ideas questioned the notion of development and modernity, and argued that all Western notions in science, philosophy, politics were anthropocentric, that means human-centered, and androcentric, means man or male-centered. Technology, medical science with its animal testing, the cosmetic and fashion industry all came in for scrutiny from environmentalists. Deep ecology, for instance, stressed on a biocentric view, that is, Earth-first concept.
Eco-critics ask questions such as, how is nature represented in the novel or poem or play? What role does the physical geographical setting play in the structure of the novel? How do our metaphors of the land influence the way we treat it? That is, what is the link between pedagogic or creative practice and actual political, socio-cultural and ethical behavior towards the land and other non-human life forms? How is science, in the form of genetic engineering, technologies of reproduction, sexualities, open to critical scrutiny in terms of the effects of science upon the land?
Eco-critics believe that human culture is related to the physical world. They assumes that all life forms are interlinked. Eco-criticism expands the notion of the world to include the entire ecosphere. Moreover, there is a definite link between nature and culture, where the literary treatment, representation and thematization of land and nature influence actions on the land. Joseph Meeker, in an early work, The Comedy of Survival, Studies in Literary Ecology, 1972, used the term literary ecology to refer to the study of biological themes and relationships which appear in literary works. It is simultaneously an attempt to discover what roles have been played by literature in the ecology of the human species. William Ruckert is believed to have coined the term ecocriticism in 1978, which he defines as the application of ecology and ecological concepts to the study of literature. They don't simply give importance and read the literature from an ecocentric perspective. They look for the natural representation, no doubt, but in rather a larger perspective. Life in proportion to nature, human civilization along with nature, the importance of natural resources in our lives, our deeds which harm the ecological balance, wars and their adverse effect on our society, and many other things come within the purview of an ecocentric reading of literature. What do the eco-critics do? Read again the major as well as other works of literature, with a viewfinder to trace the natural representation in the writing. Praise the authors, poets and intellectuals, who put nature on a higher pedestal than other themes. Give importance to the writings with an ecocentric perspective, such as travel memoirs, essays about places, intellectual writings containing visual landscapes in text etc. Not conform to the traditional notions of literary theory that suggests linguistic or social build, and thus walking through the classic lane of world beyond ourselves. Environmental criticism, also known as eco-criticism and green criticism, especially in England, is a rapidly emerging field of literary study. The practices of eco-criticism tend to give more importance to the people like Wordsworth, Walt Whitman, Thomas Hardy and other romantic poets, mostly British. There is a public domain understanding behind this, because we all know these literary figures gave more importance to nature and its role in life than any other thing. His seminal work, Prelude, is full of the illustrious role of nature in human upbringing. Eco-critics work to trace those examples and present it to the common readers. For example, the novels of Thomas Hardy, Under the Greenwood Tree, Far from the Madding Crowd and others as your subject. His novels are also called the Wessex novels. His novels are set in the lap of nature, and you will see it playing an important role. His characters grow with nature, mature with nature and eventually die with it. In simple terms, nature, as an active force in our lives, is permanent and our life is ephemeral in a sense. Thus, giving more importance to nature and preserving it becomes our moral duty. Another great example of the permanence of nature is the poem Rainbow by William Wordsworth. Major figures in this field are Jonathan Bate, considered widely as the father of eco-criticism in England, Gerald Glotfelty, father of eco-criticism in USA, Lawrence Coupe, Patrick D. Murphy. Important books: The Green Studies Reader, From Romanticism to Eco-Criticism by Lawrence Coupe, The Song of the Earth by Jonathan Bate, The Eco-Criticism Reader, Landmarks in Literary Ecology by Gerald Glotfelty, Literature of Nature, an international source book by Patrick D. Murphy, What is Nature? Culture, Politics, and the Non-Human by Kate Soper. In short, ecocriticism is the study of literature and environment from an interdisciplinary point of view, where all sciences come together to analyze the environment and brainstorm possible solutions for the correction of the contemporary environmental situation.
That's all for today. If you find this video informative, please do subscribe our channel and don't forget to click the bell icon to get the notification of our coming videos. Thank you for watching.